Hey, how you doing? David Taub here. Hope all is going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journeys are going famously. Today I have a fun little lesson for you with some jazzy rhythm progressions. It's so important to not neglect your rhythm playing. You know, we do so many lessons, and they're so much fun, right, on lead playing and all kinds of lead techniques and jamming. But, you know, playing lead guitar is awesome when we all want to be really good at it and burn all over the neck, right? I do, right? It's fun. But you know, solos are such small parts of songs, and in the end, it's the song that's remembered. And most of the time in the song, you're playing rhythm. And in my opinion, because you're playing rhythm guitar so often, your lead playing will really only ever be as good as your rhythm playing. So let's not neglect our rhythm playing, and let's do a little lesson on some fun jazzy progressions. Maybe you'll learn some new chords. You'll learn some ways to jazz up your blues or your rock progressions, and maybe learn a little music theory to boot. And in this lesson, I'm just tuned to standard A440 tuning, so go ahead, tune your guitars low to high, E, A, D, G, B, and E. And if you get a second, please subscribe to the channel. You know, subscribing to the channel, that really helps us to keep the content coming, right? As well as then you'll be notified when we have new lessons up. Also, leave a comment below. Let us know how you like this lesson. Let us know what lessons you'd like to see coming up. And if you like the video, please click the like button. Give it a thumbs up, share it, and thank you so much for your support. We're going to be in the key of C major. C major is a nice key because there's no sharps or flat. It's the only major key with no sharps or flats. 7-note scale, right? Diatonic scale. And the notes in the C major scale are C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. And each of those notes corresponds to a chord. So what we're going to do is by harmonizing that scale, stacking the thirds, we can build the chords of that key made from various combinations of notes of the C major scale. All right, I just want to give you a little bit on this so you can understand when we start talking about where these progressions come from, right? So you have the key of C major and all the notes, and we just assign the first note of the scale is C, that's the 1. The second note of the scale, D, that's the 2. The E is the 3, and so forth. So each note of the scale gets an interval assigned to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Easy. The chords that you're going to get, which are just all made from notes of this C major scale, different combinations of them. So when we do that, here are there's 3-note chords and 4-note chords. This lesson we're going to use a lot of the 4-note chords. They're a little bit more sophisticated sounding. But the 3-note chord would be, okay, for C major, the 1 would be a C major chord. The 2 would be a D minor. The 3 would be E minor. 4 would be your F major. The 5 is usually a dominant chord, would be your G7th. 6 would be A minor, and your 7 always in major key would be diminished. So we'd have a B diminished chord. Now if we add another interval to that, make them 4-note chords, your 1 would be a C major 7th, the 2 would be D minor 7th, 3 E minor 7, excuse me, 4 F major 7, 5 G7 or G9. Your 6th would be A minor 7th, and the 7 often would be your half diminished B minor 7 flat 5. So there's all the chords we're going to pull from to make these jazzy sounding progressions. Just like in the blues, the 1-4-5 is kind of the meat and potatoes of blues. In jazz, the 2-5-1 is kind of the meat and potatoes of jazz. So we're going to start with the 2, 5, and 1. So just look for your 2 chord, your 5 chord, and your 1 chord. And by the way, when you see these chords written out in these progressions, oftentimes you'll just see like lowercase letters and uppercase numbers, right? Basically, the lowercase is the minor chords, and the uppercase, the capitals, is the major chords. So we need to apply this to the guitar, right? Because what difference does it make, all this mindless bantering, right? All this yammering around. Let's see how it works with guitar. Let's play some guitar. Okay, so I'll leave these chords up here so you can see this as we're going over this. But so the 2-5-1 progression, we take the 2 chord, which is D minor 7th, the 5 chord G7th, and the 1 chord C major 7th. And I'll show you a few different ways you could play. And you could use this as a practice exercise, maybe using bar chords like you would mostly when you're playing these, but also you could throw in open chords too, or maybe you're doing this on acoustic. You want those to sound really nice on acoustic. So you could play D minor 7 like this. Right, you can also, here's your open position, D minor 7. Play it like that. G7, you could play here. You can also play the open G7 like this. Right, C major 7th, like this, bar chord. You can also play C major 7 open here. Right? So let's take the 2 chord, D minor 7th to G7 to C major 7. And you have a very common jazz progression. right? So that 2-5-1, you could mess around with different rhythms. Always sound pretty. Let's try a different chord too for each. So instead of a D minor 7, you could play a minor 9 chord. I love this minor 9 sound. Isn't that beautiful? Right? There's your minor 9 voicing. Here's your root. And that's movable. Most of these bar chords, they're all movable for the root note. So now you get a sound like this. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more about scales and major scales, scale usage and modal playing and things like that, I have a killer ebook. I'll send it to you for free. Just click on that link in the YouTube description box below. Tell you what, I'll pair it with a video lesson with some easy ways to spice up your licks and whatnot. I'll send them both to you for free. The video lesson and the ebook. It's a killer 1-2 punch. Just click on that link in the YouTube description box below. Let's add a chord and make it a 2-5-1-6. So we have the 2 chord again, D minor 7 or D minor 9. You have your 5 chord, that's G7. We'll take the 1 chord, your C major 7. Now we have to add the 6. So if you look on our chart, the 6th is A minor 7th. So we could play an A minor 7th here. Or we could play an A minor 7th a couple different ways. Here's A minor. You could just take off your 3rd finger, A minor 7th there, or play the A minor and add your pinky on that D note, on that G note. You have an A minor 7th there, right? So that, we put those 4 chords together in this 2-5-1-6 progression. Will sound like this. Right? Kind of sweet. And again, you could substitute D minor 9. For any minor 7, you can always substitute a minor 9. We'll do another substitution. Instead of a G7th chord, let's play a G13. Right? That chord sounds very expensive. That'll sound like this. Alright, I really like that 13 chord. And an easy little change, actually, if you want to do another comp, is take your pinky, which is barring the high E and the B, and just move it to the B string, adding that D sharp note. Ooh, so you get this movement. From the 13th to the G7, that's a G7 sharp 5. Very jazzy sounding. So you could kind of, we can play all 3. 7, 13, 7 sharp 5. It's a little finger workout, right? Maybe I'll start with the minor 9 on the D. Right? And very, very jazzy sounding. Now I'll put all 3 of those G voicings in there. The open chords, so you can mix them up, right? So that's 2-5-1-6. Let's switch the order of those chords up and make like a 1-6-2-5 progression. Same chords, different order, but listen to the different sounds you get. So we're starting with C major 7. We're starting with our root chord. And of course, these all are going to sound nice because they're all chords in the key of C major. They're all made from notes of that C major scale, right? And then we're kind of augmenting them a bit by adding these flatted notes or sharp notes, but basically your bass chords, the 3 and 4 note chords, they're all made from that C major scale. So here's that 1-6-2-5 sound. Resolving back to that C major 7. Something interesting you could do with a progression like this on that 2nd chord, the 6th, is instead of playing your A minor 7th, play the dominant chord, A 7th, and that'll really add some tension. Listen to the difference if I just go back and forth. C major 7, A 7, D 7, G7 on this 1-6-2-5. Now listen again, but I'll do the minor 7. Right? Versus Little different sound you can get by kind of changing that to a dominant chord. In our fourth common jazzy progression, let's shuffle them up again, but this time let's add the 3 chord. We haven't played anything with the E minor 7th yet. So let's do a 3-6-2-5-1, another very common progression. So that would be our E minor 7th, now to our A minor 7th, to the D minor 7th, G 7th, and then C major 7th. That'll sound like this. Beautiful. Let's do some substitutions. Maybe instead of that A minor 7, you could play it at A minor 9, like I said before, but on the 6th string, you could play your A minor 9 by adding the pinky on the 9 up top. So it'll sound like this. Love that. A minor 7, A minor 9. You can play them both if you want. And again, you could play that D minor 9, you can play the G13 in there, you can play the G7 with the sharp 5. Your choice. One of the beautiful things about this instrument, right? There's so many. All these wonderful choices. So if we mess around with those comps, you might get something like this. Awesome. And then for our last progression, we'll have some fun. It's a 4-3-2-1. Has a very interesting sound. So we're adding the 4 chord now. I wanted to kind of give you something with most of the chords in this key. So the 4 is your F major 7. Right? So we'll take that to the E minor 7, to the D minor 7, to our C major 7. Together? So I hope you enjoyed that lesson. These jazzy progressions are a lot of fun. These chords are so beautiful. Take them, enjoy them, put your own twist on them, do your own thing. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. I got tons of killer lessons coming up and you want to be notified, right? As well as you subscribing helps us to keep bringing the content. Also, don't forget, get my free video lesson and ebook. It's killer, really help you along in your guitar journey. Just click on that link in the YouTube description box below. I'll send them both to you for free. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support over the years and years. So appreciate it. Have fun with those guitars, right? Enjoy, and remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. Take care and rock on.